carrying a shotgun around is every bit as offensive as an AR-15. And if you ever stared in the barrel of one, and I have.
Me too, actually. I must say, I accidentally one time took a wrong exit and end up, like in front of gates of max security prison without even knowing that. And oh boy, like they really weren't, like playing around.
Oh man, a friend of mine, he opened the gun and pointed one at me because he thought it was funny.
Oh,
yeah, I tell you, my knees shook for a little while. Because the barrel is that, it's so big. But yeah, if he had carried around with a shotgun, that would have looked just as bad, in my opinion. The AR-15 actually, for what he was wanting to do, was perfect.
Yeah, and I must say that the shotgun would not help him in the second part of basically when he found himself on the ground and stuff like that. I think it would be very suboptimal if it would be pump action shotgun. I highly doubt, because he is from basically his family is from lower class, right? When it comes to income, something like the Benelli shotgun that's immensely expensive, that is semi-automatic, is immensely expensive, and I highly doubt he could afford that. So if he would be going with a shotgun, it would be a pump action, and then when he's on the ground dragged around, he could, for example, is it when you pump also short stroke, or you know what I mean, when you don't pump properly? I don't know how to say that in English.
But you can pump and fire quickly, but yours not going to match up to the speed of an AR-15.
Definitely.
He could not have got the shots off with the shotgun.
No, that's no way. And not to mention, I think there would be a higher probability, because he missed some shots, right? So there would be some probability that for hitting innocent people around far greater, because the spread of the.
Look at the shooting of Rosenbaum. His first shot missed.
Yeah, so he I think it grazed him on the head, no?
No, I think the first shot completely missed, and I think that one grazed him. But if he had been using a pump action shotgun, Rosenbaum would have had him.
Yeah,
because he couldn't have got that shot off. Remember, it was the shot that was in. It was the shot in the back that killed Rosenbaum, and that was the very last one.
Yeah,
because it was the one where Rosenbaum's lunging after him, so he couldn't have got that shot off, and so Rosenbaum would have had his weapon, I think.
Now, just for people that will freak out, oh yeah, Kyle shot Mr. Rosenbaum in the back. Well, I think you've never been in a fight or flight situation. It's insane. I don't know if you've been, Johnny, if you've been in a fight or flight situation.
No, I don't think I've ever been in that kind of situation.
No. Okay. You can, by the way, fact check me, or feel free to fact check me on, for example, Wikipedia. They have fairly decent description of it. Basically, what happens in a fight or flight is you have immense tunnel vision. You see only one or the other, and your brain has this tendency of focusing on threats. That it's, for example, trained and stuff like that. It knows that it's a threat. So basically, when Kyle was running away, he seen exit strategy basically to run away. That was his tunnel vision, pointing him in some direction. And he also seen Mr. Rosenbaum. Basically, those were the only things that he could see in the situation. And by the way, also one more thing, in this situation, you are basically passenger. Your lizard brain takes over to a degree. You are not responsible for your actions. A wee bit more on that in a bit there. And basically what happened then, well, Mr. Zeminski fired the gun behind him, and I can tell you sound, it's like a mash, everything is cacophony together, but the moment there's a threat, that's the loudest and clearest sound in the world. For me, those were breaking twigs on a tree. And I immediately knew what it was, and I was focused. I knew where it was coming from, etc. So Kyle then turns around, and when you switch from flight to fight, that's kill. That's, what I mean, you just lose control and it's kill. And just want to say, to what degree it basically you are not responsible for your actions. There are cases where ex-military, former soldiers and stuff like that, when they sleep and they're having nightmare, they are reliving, for example, a battle, and their wife wakes them up sometimes they, because they are having a lively dream, and they are in the middle of combat, their brain thinks they are, fighting for their life. Their wife wakes them up, and suddenly they, in their mind, teleported to dark room with someone looming over them, and they full on beat them, their wives, to death. And quite often they are actually found innocent for these actions. So that's to what degree this fight or flight, basic mechanism, how crazy it is.
Yeah, and that's what, just going back just quickly on the shooting in the back thing, because I don't want anybody to get the wrong impression there.
Yeah.
The shot in the back was down the back. It was really, it entered it really high and went through the lung. So, and it's really clear by looking at the video, and according to Richard McGinnis, who was right there, what happened. He just simply lunged at Kyle and missed. I think that he just simply, in my opinion, he misjudged the distance. And
could be.
And Kyle squeezed off another round, but I see nothing wrong with Kyle shooting him.
No,
back there, not at all. Now, the other thing is, all these people saying what Kyle should have done after shooting somebody. He's 17 years old. He never anticipated anything like this was going to happen. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he planned all this. Oh, give me a break.
No,
he had no way of knowing this was going to happen. And all of a sudden, the only thing he could probably think of is all of the world shrinking down on him. He's in serious trouble. He may have killed a man, and now there's a mob coming. I don't know how in the hell he was able to function at all at that point. But then everybody's saying, well, why didn't he call 911? Why didn't he run? And this is the latest one. Why didn't he run down the street towards people instead of into the parking lot?
Oh my God.
Hey, you got to be kidding me, because everything is going to be in slow motion in your head. It's going to be fuzzy. I don't know if anybody's ever, like maybe the first time you ever got in a fight and you got popped in the nose, and all of a sudden the world seems to slow down. It's like you're in an ooze. And he had to have been in this sort of mist. And I mean, I was surprised that he was able to run without tripping or falling at that point. And he's going to run to where he sees open territory. And you see this all the time. You always look back, well, why did he run this direction? Well, he's just going to run.
It's police.
He's going to run. And in the parking lot, here we go. And the parking lot where he's running has one really nice feature about it. Rosenbaum isn't there. The mob isn't there. It's open, and that's where he's going to go. And to second guess that is insane. But
about that, literally every police force on the planet, the Czech included, and I was part of self-defense courses and stuff like that, they every time say, after you neutralize the threat, chase them off, fight them off, shoot them, etc., get the hell out. Get out of the danger zone, run away, drive away, whatever it takes. Like you can call the cops, for example, when you were in a car and I don't know, you needed to run someone over, call the cops and everything, but just get out of there. That's the first thing they teach you in every self-defense class.
Creating distance. You got to create distance. And he, in my opinion, I look back on this, he did pretty much everything he needed to do. I don't see too much that I could criticize him for. Was it wise for him to be at the protest? Well, you can go back and forth on that, but given that he was there, given what Rosenbaum did at that point, I can't criticize him for anything he did. And I'll tell you this, I mean, I watch a lot of these cop channels. Especially in a lot of law channels, but a lot of cop channels. Rick Gore, for example, with his Good Luck America channel. We got there's that 4-cop panel LEO roundtable. And so I've been watching these, and they all watch this, and they all come to the same conclusion. The boy did pretty good considering that he was under enormous strain. And like Rick said, why can't more of our police officers be this cool and calm? It's a good question, right? Because, I don't see any problem with what he did. we can second guess his decision to be there, but after that, no.
Actually, I would not, that decision I would not second guess, because I as I said in my guide, let's say on Kyle Rittenhouse situation, you know, this would be happening to my country, to a city nearby. Hey, I would be there, and we would be far more aggressive. I actually talked with some of my countrymen, and they full on told me, I mean, those people that were burning down basically businesses, cars, etc., they would be praying for the cops to come as soon as possible. You know, so that decision is not the one that is, in my opinion, wrong. What I have problems with, that he found himself basically alone. And as you said in one of your videos, that Mr. Rosenbaum basically threatened his life in front of a church. Is that correct?
Well, we don't know for sure. That's what Ryan Balch has made a claim of.
Yeah.
And Kyle did say earlier in the evening that he helped de-escalate a church burning.
Yeah.
Are they the same event? I don't know.
Okay.
So there is some evidence of it.
Yeah. Let's presume, you know, like it is for the sake of the argument. And I must say, if I would be, for example, his father or his commanding officer, I would slap the crap out of him afterwards. That not necessarily that he didn't leave, that, you know, but that he was alone, because he's immensely lucky that Mr. Rosenbaum, with his great plan of, you know, let's jump them and check their guns, and their, you know, like his group of happy fellows, you know, they went about it the stupidest way possible, because how easy it would be, for example, Mr. Zeminski's wife to be, oh, you know, my leg hurts, I need a medic. Kyle, oh, okay, I'm a medic, I will help you. He bends over basically, and from behind comes Mr. Zeminski, puts a pistol to his head, and well, now you are in world of trouble. You know what I mean? He, as I said, you know, he's lucky that they went about it the stupidest way possible. And then there's a problem why I would slap the crap out of him. First, his life, well, that's your business, kind of, but they can take away your firearm and put other people in danger, and that's your responsibility then.
Yeah. First of all, the reason why Zeminski didn't do what you're saying is because he's just too stupid. If he'd have thought of it, he probably would have. You know, but no one's going to accuse Zeminski and Rosenbaum of being particularly bright.
Yeah.
The other one is that one thing we forget is he did get separated. Okay.
Yes, definitely.
But if you'll notice, right after he got separated, he tried to go back to the mechanic shop, and they wouldn't let him. So he got separated. And so what does he do? He walks down the street, walks into the barricade, and says, I work over here. I'm trying to get back, essentially, in paraphrasing, I'm trying to get back to working. So it looks to me like, and I would suggest that maybe the defense's argument is going to be that he did get separated and he saw the danger in that and tried to call it a night. He also really had no real good reason to hang out anymore. I think he was done for the night because he didn't see anybody that needed any treatment. And the property was already under police control, so he's not protecting it anymore. It's getting late. He's probably getting a little tired of the whole thing anyway.
Yeah.
And so I don't doubt that he was probably calling it a night. The mistake was the police didn't let him.
Yeah.
And if they had let him get past, none of this would have happened.
Definitely. And I think there was a wee bit of a lazy factor, if you would, because in that situation, what I would have done 100% would be, because there were other, let's say, militia members, or you know, like some other armed civilians that were on his side, if you would, I would be like, hey man, I want to go home and stuff like that. When you're going, maybe in 30 minutes or something like that, we could walk together, you know, just to be sure. And I think he was, to a degree, that played his young naivety role. And hey, nobody's gonna hurt me. First of all, I'm a kid, I'm a medic trying to help people, etc. And I have my rifle, which basically is like why the same reason why in nature bees are yellow and black. They are like, hey, we have a sting, you will mess with us,
this is a repellent.
Yeah. So
it's an Antifa repellent, right?
Yeah.